Me, you said that 65 hours being in a sauna?
65 hours of being in not just a sauna, but a far infrared sauna. So there's a process that happens that causes things to happen. One is an aggressive chelation and detox, because body temperature that's been raised, and there is belief that the sweat that comes out of far infrared is measured at 20%, 50% water, whereas the sweat that comes out of just a regular sauna.
Well, I know the difference. I know that. I mean, most people know that the difference in sauna, like when you're in a sauna, like one of the traditional saunas or the far infrared. I mean, I'm not talking about. I mean, tell me how how the infrared's better. I mean, that's a given. But I want to talk about how do you stay in the sauna for 65 hours?
Okay, so that's one of the processes that happen during that, and the other is that how do you stay in it is you have liquid continuously every hour on the hour.
What if someone's on Gerson therapy? Like, can they drink juices?
The process that I guess green juices alternated with carrot and citrus, but again, every hour on the hour, up to, like what Gerson therapy is, 13 of those juices a day, and that's a therapy by itself. And on top of that, SEAC therapy.
Wait, what kind of therapy?
Also, pardon?
Okay, go ahead.
SEAC therapy, which is a process by itself, which is an older Native American recipe. That just basically, all of them are directed towards kind of two things: to improve the immune system and detoxify the body, and they're all isolated processes that some people are familiar with or not familiar with. But like you said, everybody's familiar with far infrared, but very, very, very few people are familiar with staying 65 hours in that continuously. And it's in theory, is believed is it can cause at that extended amount of time any cell that's kind of potentially, I'm just going to say a bad cell, because I'm not going to say something that could be the wrong thing to say over the internet, of course, but to not be able to live in that kind of environment. So it focuses on chelation, detox, boosting the immune system, so that your body can have a better chance of fighting. But how you stay 65 hours it's a nightmare, to be honest. I mean, it's hot. If somebody doesn't know what a far infrared system is, they produce a lot of heat. They can average around around 106 to 108 degrees. Your head's out, your feet are out, everything else is pretty.
Oh, you're referring to the dome sauna, not a wooden one, right?
No, it has to be a dome sauna.
Yeah, like how could you sit for 65 hours? I mean, do you sleep in this thing? Do you sleep? Yeah, did you sleep while it's on, or?
You can get out for like a 15 or 20-minute meal, and your body is not going to drop enough in temperature to make it start the process over. You're still just
what temperature would you have it on? There's 9 temperature settings. What setting would you have it on? Like the highest, lowest, middle? Do you want to keep your body core like a certain temperature that what temperature would you say for you or whoever?
Well, I mean, in this case, my estimation is that it's about at 106 this particular far infrared system doesn't have an adjustment. And so, and my belief is that it's about 106 to 108 degrees. I know some go way hotter than that, but I mean, realistically, the lower temperature is going to have a better far infrared depth anyway, and so it doesn't need to be higher than that temperature.
So you want just enough where you're getting that far infrared, so you're not really sweating and having to change towels out every minute, no?
It's impossible not to have some sweating.
I know you're sweating, but you're not like drenching, beads of sweat are coming off your brow, that kind of temperature, no?
It's not like that, no. There is some sweating, and what I saw is in areas of, like if there was areas of lymphedema or things like that, it sweated more because it needed to, and because it is a kind of a contained lymphatic.
Should you do any lymphatic exercise like in between or not? Or just sauna only? I mean, shouldn't you stimulate your lymphatic system, do some exercise?
No. I mean, it's not that kind of heat. I mean, the whole point is just to stay at the temperature for an extended period of time, and then at that point, you're having the opportunity to take cells that are maybe not completely normal cells anymore, have a more difficult time surviving. I'll just say it that way.
Okay.
But at the very least, though, there's also a very extreme chelation and detox. So there's a lot of things happening at the same time. But
I mean, 65 hours that's like 2 days and 48, 58, 60. That's like almost 3 days.
Yeah, isn't it? I know. And it's, there's like a small little window for meals, and then it's right back in. So it's an extreme process. The sit-in beds won't work. It has to be a lay-down bed to work. And then besides also the lay-down bed. I mean,
I would recommend putting this on the bed, like putting this dome on the bed, because it's it's not that it's a hard floor. I mean, you probably want to put it on the bed because it's not that. I mean, I can't imagine sleeping being in the sauna 65 hours. I mean, on like a hard carpet,
No, it can't be that way. And then the way these are set up, they're on. I mean, there's nothing more than a higher end kind of massage table fabric. I mean, it's not a comfortable situation. But you can take like a mat, because it is just the dome that's the 180 degree around the top of the person. And a person could take a mat and then sheet over that to make it a 2-inch pad, to make it more realistic, which doesn't hurt anything because all the rays are coming from above that anyway. And the heat for that matter. And so it is not a common practice with an infrared system, or with any sauna for that matter, but it's something that it has at the very least an excellent detox and kind of an immune system boost, because 30 minutes is one thing, to be in a sauna, but when you push 65 hours, it's extreme. Seriously, I can't even imagine. I mean, I might. Yeah.
So, is you saying is it like torture being in this thing? Is it like, do you feel rejuvenated, or do you feel like real tired when the thing's done, or what do you?
No, it's definitely at the end of the process, it's rejuvenated. But there are moments during the process that it's like a nightmare. It's just bottom line. It's just.
What if you can't? What if you can't make it the whole way? What do you do?
Get out. There's no change on it, But if you can't, you can't,
I mean, what percent? Just say what percent people you think can make it all the way through. What should you prep yourself before you go in? Like, should you prep yourself before the session?
Well, I guess, as far as hydration, a lot of liquids, and that it's not going to be a pleasant, easy experience, the person can attempt to read, a person can possibly read at times, but I think, and I can only, from my own experience, is sleep, and it's not something that, it's not something somebody can do by themselves, because if you're getting in and out every time you have to get something to drink, it doesn't work, but so there has to be, somebody there around the clock.
I mean, when people have, like, the flu, you stay in bed for 2-3 days. I mean, so it's like, you're not, like, if someone's in a dire situation, it's like, all right, I'm going to take off for 3 days. This is what they got to do. But some people, I'm sure they'll put it off, because it's like you're going on a retreat in your own bedroom,
Yeah, it is. But you have, the whole point of it is you have to maintain a core temperature. You have to maintain a temperature for a certain amount of time, and you can't get in and out of it doing, continuously. So there has to be somebody there assisting, whether it's 2 people, 3 people, one person setting an alarm that's around the clock. It has to be liquids, that are brought to the person every hour. And
I mean, the saunas only have maybe an hour timer on it, though. That's the thing.
And somebody resetting that as well. Yeah.
So someone needs to stay up all night with you.
What's that?
Someone needs to wake up every hour. So this is like a job. This is like, wow.
Yeah. There are 3 shifts, that have to be basically assisting, or 2 is 12 hours. But I mean, somebody does have to be there every hour.
So you couldn't. What about doing it 12 hours, like 8 hours? 5 times 8 is 4. What about doing it for a week for 8 hours? You really have to do it for, I guess, 65 hours. I mean, that's the deal, I guess.
The 65 hours has a specific purpose to.
This is actually the craziest thing. I don't want to say crazy, but this I've never heard. Like, this is probably the most extreme protocol I've ever heard of. I mean, I hear people going like, Hippocrates for 2 weeks, and these health institutes, these raw food institutes, for a week, but they do list therapy, they do colonic, they do, whatever, but like for a straight 65 hours. I think I'm going to try this. I mean, just to see, what it is like, what it would be like to go through it. I can't really, I'm sure, like, I can't just like, oh, tell everyone to try this. Try, do it for 65 hours. Go. No, you have to go through it. You know what it reminds me of? It's like going through Hell Night in a fraternity. You can't, put someone else through it unless you've been through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be there. It has to be, and I mean, like you asked about, what about 8 hours, for a week, again, you lose the core temperature that you're trying to achieve in the first place. So, 8 hours.
So, what core temperature should you put it? I mean, what would you think would be? I mean, like just enough to where you're feeling warm, or to you're constantly sweating. What would you recommend for, just say you, or how would you picture it? I don't want you to give advice for people, but like, how would you picture it?
I couldn't even give advice. It's kind of like there are times when it seems more tolerable than others. I don't know why. It's the body kind of at moments being able to acclimate better than other moments.
Well, in the winter, just say I have it up at full blast. In the winter, I can stay in much longer than the summer. The summer, even though the temperature is, just say it's like 74 degrees in the house, in the winter, if it's 74, the heater's on, I can like stay in longer in the winter, even though it's the same temperature. At the far infrared, it's just like when I go to the gym in the summer, like I don't even want to go in the sauna in the summer, but in the winter it feels different. Just the feeling I get in the winter, even though it's the same temperature just say the gym is the same temperature all year round, they keep the same temperature. Like I've been to the gym for an hour and